Today I'll be presenting the Kaggle dataset project that I worked on. Um, so I started the dataset project on Kaggle, and in this project I analyze a dataset from World Health Organization that contains life expectancy data along with the social, economic, and health related indicators, which is broken down by country and year. So this is the first step of my code. So I started by loading the data using Panda to read as CSV and to load the data with first line CSV and I preview the data by using functions like head, parentheses, and then tail info to understand the structures and the type of values that I'll be working with before I do this analysis. So as I run the code, I can see the what it contains in the data of the World Health Organization, um, and then different life expectancy, mortality, different things like that that I could use to analyze the data. And then to clean the data, um, I focus on finding missing values in several columns. To handle this, I use for field invitations like fill to propagate values forward with each country, and assuming that trends remain somewhat stable over time. And I also confirmed that there were no duplicates row by checking for duplicates, and cleaned up any columns, name inconsistencies that could have been present as I was reviewing the data. And then I check for unique countries. So there's 193 countries that are present in the data set. So to gain deeper insight, I created three new features when analyzing the data set. So the first is the mortality ratio, which looks for ratio of adult mortality to infant deaths, helping to compare life stages and outcome. So I did this by writing this code here. And then for the second one is looking at it by GDP level. So I grouped the countries into GDP quartiles like low, median, high, low, median, high, and very high. And then third, I look for the vaccine score, and by looking at average vaccination score across hepatitis B, polio, and diphtheria to measure any public health measure that have been taking place. So this is my output as I looked for each of the analysis. This mortality ratio, GDP level, and the vaccine score. Then I explore life expectancy trends across time in different categories. So by I grouped the data by year, development status, um, and then GDP levels to understand how these factors impact longevity in each country, and I preview results by putting in the print statement. So as expected, I was able to see by year, by status developing, and then by the GDP level. And then to illustrate the finding of the data analysis, I created three key visualization. Um, so the first visualization will show the global life expectancy that has steadily increased over the years. Um, and then the second visualization, which I created, will show the developed countries that consistently have higher life expectancy than developing ones. And the third status would be if there's, I make this to see if there is a strong positive correlation between the GDP and the life expectancy, especially in countries that are developed, that are considered developing nations. So as I run, so just seeing global life expectancy over time. So it is life expectancy is increasing as shown in the graph, and then compared to developing countries, um, developed countries have higher life expectancy by at least like 15, um, and then GDP versus life expectancy. So the orange one represent the developed country, and the blue one represent the developing country. So as you can see, as the GDP goes higher, that doesn't necessarily means um, the life expectancy is stay consistent pretty much. And then, but for developed countries, as the GDP is higher, like the life expectancy tend to increase over time. So from this analysis, the insight that I gathered from it is the vaccine rates are positively correlated with longer life expectancy, and wealthier countries with higher GDP level tends to have higher life expectancy overall, and developed countries have consistently better outcome when it comes to quality of life and mortality than developing countries. So by finding these data that are visualized in the charts and supported by aggregated matrix, that we can see virtually like how GDP impact life expectancy, and then vaccine development and availability of vaccine impacts life expectancy. And their analysis has limitation. For example, like some are missing GDP data in some countries, some are missing like some years, and also it's possible that the data is underreported, especially in the developing countries. So this notebook that I created on Kaggle is fully reproducible, and all dependencies are included, and the code is well structured, organized from start to finish, so the entire analysis can be run by somebody else who reviewing from beginning to the end. So to wrap up, this project showcased how public health and economic factors impact life expectancy globally, and my interest in public health drive me to pick this dataset over other datasets that are available to analyze. And as you can see throughout the project, with some basic cleaning and feature engineering and visualization that are available on hand, we're able to um, showcase and uncover meaningful trends and disparities in global health outcomes. Thank you.